We are back here on this very professional set of Girl Talk.
Not talking at all. Not talking at all.
It is, and Terry's here as the Arts Center now.
Representing.
Well, no, I'm just here hanging out because I heard that all of you were talking to Orchid and now Lauren.
I just thought you'd just drive by and say, hey, can I hang out?
I was like, Lauren Patrick is here.
Another part of the Arts Center.
Exactly,
right now.
another part of the Arts Center, and lend me a tenor. And
right.
we've already said how beautiful your skin is. You look
Yes,
great.
you are so pretty. And she's like that
you.
tall, like really, really tall.
Exactly.
Well, I'm a little bit closer to the sun, so I have to wear a lot of sunscreen.
There you go.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Talk to us a little bit about Lend Me a Tenor and what you're doing in it.
Of course, Lend Me a Tenor is a play by Ken Ludwig, who's a very, very talented playwright. It was on Broadway a couple years ago. A revival was on Broadway. And it's a farce, which is just a very fast-paced comedy. Lots of opening, closing doors, mistaken identities. It's a lot of fun. I mean, some critics might call it a joyous romp or something like that. It's the kind of thing that it would get that sort of tagline, a joyous romp.
Tell us a little bit, when is it going to be, what's going on, all those good things,
Well,
too.
it runs through February 26th.
Okay.
It's now on stage, and you can get tickets to it. You know the number, Debbie.
842 Arts, Lori.
842 Arts.
Lauren.
And I know the website.
Okay.
It's artshhi.com.
We are good.
And you can actually go and pick out your seats too, online, which is the coolest thing
Which
about
is
the
really
Arts. So
cool.
you can go and say, I want to sit here. And you can, Debbie.
I've
done
always
it.
done the call. Really?
Yes.
Nope.
That's because
Online is
Debbie
really good.
remembers the phone number,
Yeah,
so she
exactly.
I
calls
do
and,
842
yeah.
Arts, and then I have people do that.
Oh, yeah. I don't have people. So where are you from? And have you always been in acting?
Houston.
Yes, I'm originally from Houston,
Yes.
Texas.
Okay.
I'm also a Southern girl.
Yeah.
But I've been living in New York City for about 8 years now.
All right.
And when you say you're living in New York City as an actress, you're often out on tour or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're in and out of town. But
Yeah.
I am a New Yorker, and I just have to say it's so nice to be here for the winter.
Rumor
Oh, this
has
winter
it-
is great too.
Oh,
it
it
is.
is.
warm.
Yes.
Rumor has it that you don't sing a note in this.
Well, I've managed to sort of, stick in a few notes here and there just to sort of give my character a little bit more, realism. Because I do play an operatic soprano in the show. And but it's true, it is a straight play, and there's no singing except for one moment where there's just, it's gorgeous.
Is it
But
fun
the
to do
guys do a really
something
good
like
job.
this?
It is so much fun. I got my training in opera. I have my master's in opera.
Really?
From where?
Wow, that height would then help bellow it all out. you know?
Yes,
It's
that's
like,
right. I fell
"Woo!"
stage.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Eastman School of Music, and then I
Okay.
got my master's at Cincinnati Conservatory.
Oh, so
You
we're from
see?
Cincinnati.
Oh my God! We grew
We're-
up there during the summers. They always had the operas
Yeah.
at the
Our
zoo.
father's
Oh my
big
God.
opera
Zoo
guy.
or whatever.
At
Yeah.
the zoo,
Yeah.
you would go. You'd bring your whole family. It was the best way
Yeah.
to learn
Opera.
to appreciate it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a great school.
Yeah,
Debbie
oh, it
sings
is.
a lot.
It is.
Debbie's a
Yeah.
good singer. You're a good
Not
singer.
opera.
Well, no.
Are you
not
going to
opera,
sing
but-
something for us now?
That would
Yes,
be
that was yeah, she did.
So anyway, the funny thing is that I don't actually sing much in the show, even though I am a trained opera singer. And I had, after school, I went straight to New York, and I started doing musical theater, straight plays, stuff like that, because I thought, I'm too young. I want to really perform. And in opera, sometimes you don't really get a chance until you're older.
Right.
Because it's a bit of a career that you have to mature into.
Those big hats, heavy wigs.
Yeah.
And now that I'm starting to mature myself, I got
24?
Yeah.
We'll just keep you thinking that. Well, I was tired of, having to go to
Compared
auditions.
to the three of us.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, we'll talk to you like
Having
this.
to go to auditions and show up in my leotard and tights, and there I am with girls straight out of high school.
Right, exactly.
19, 20-year-olds, and I was thinking, I can't
This
do
is
this
so
for much
wrong.
longer. And so I thought, well, maybe it's time for me to explore my original career, which was opera. And so this is actually, ironically, my first job since making that decision. And I'm playing an opera singer, but not singing.
That's all right.
At least you're one step closer. What is opera like now? Are you getting a younger population? Are we learning to appreciate
It's a
it
good
again?
question, Debbie.
You know,
it's a good question. Yeah, because is it falling off? Or
Exactly. There's a lot of fear that it is a dying art, and that it would be such a shame.
Yeah.
There's a lot of composers who are writing new operas that are really innovative and exciting, and based on topics that are more modern, and there was a Jerry Springer opera.
Oh,
Yes,
for
yes,
crying
I
out
remember
loud.
Stuff like that.
I think of like
Jerry Springer.
Oh, I know.
yeah.
I think of like Hair. Some of the what was it called? Tommy.
Oh, that was
Those
great.
kinds of. Are those more like operettas?
Those are like rock
Rock
operas.
operas?
Rock
Yeah,
operas.
rock operas.
Yeah.
But still a genre that seemed to bring a younger demographic in.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I have a good friend of mine is actually starring there's a Willy Wonka opera.
Oh, that would be
The
fun.
Golden
With
Ticket.
the blueberry
Yes.
blues.
Next in March, it's going to be in Atlanta.
Oh,
So
that's
it's pretty
cool.
close.
Yeah.
You know, if you're interested in opera and you're thinking, well, I just can't sit through like a old Puccini something or other, which of course I
Madame
love.
Butterfly.
What would be your ideal opera to star in?
My ideal sort of dream role is Octavian in Der Rosenkavalier, which
Look,
is
we're
by
going.
Richard
I
Schwalz.
think I saw. When did we see that in Cincinnati?
Did you?
No.
We've
Sorry.
probably
Well,
probably seen all of
All
them.
right, stop talking about opera here for a second.
Okay.
Because we're really here to talk about the comedy Lend Me a
This is
Tenor
true.
at the Art Center.
And it's a lot more
Everybody's
entertaining.
going to think the Art Center's doing an
No, no,
opera.
no.
You're not doing an opera at the Art Center.
We're doing a play about an opera company
Yes.
putting on an opera. It's
Yes.
it's actually it's a hilarious plot. It's the Cleveland Opera Company in 1935,
Okay.
34,
Yeah.
and they're doing a one night only production of Verdi's Otello, and they have a world famous tenor from Italy coming over, Tito Morelli.
Stupendo.
And it's basically he gets ill, someone has to cover for him, and there's mistaken identity. You know, you've got the big fro wig of Otello.
I love it.
So
Love
they've
it.
got the makeup on and everything, and it's just. It's
a
crazy
lot of
what
fun.
happens when there's all those mistaken identities.
Yeah,
Women
and-
throwing themselves at who they think is the tenor.
Let's review again really quickly the dates.
Okay, the show runs through February 26th. It's on
Starting
stage
now.
now at the Art
Okay,
Center.
on stage now.
And you can get tickets by calling
842 Arts.
Or going online.
ArtsHHI.com.
God, we already
got
had
your
rehearsed
seats.
this. All I have to
And,
say is, if you're not representing the Art Center, you should be. You're just like.
Yes,
That was a very good
Not the most subtle transition, but effective
true.
You can
nonetheless.
kick her and it works too.
Well, it's totally my fault too because I could talk about opera.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously we liked it too.
we bet. Look at Terry's like, yeah, but I wrangled you in. We got a lot more to come. You know what we're going to do now? You'll be interested in this. We're going to take a field trip, and we're going up to Custom Audio Video, which obviously is all about sound and beauty and music. So stay with us. We'll be right back here on Girl Talk.
That was good.